Hi guys, so I'm just going to talk a little bit now about Bachelor for Education in Gaeilge and French, German or Spanish, so the post-primary degree. So, Céim Winna, so it's Misha Laura, so my name is Laura and I'm a second year student doing the Bedlam programme at the moment, and I, as well as studying the Gaeilge, I also do French as well. The programme chair then is Dr. Sean McRischard, and the deputy programme chair is Pierre Sahern, and their emails are there if or should you need them. So first of all, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Reactionist Ian Trala, so the entry requirements. So first of all, there's 40 places on the course, which is nice. So it's nice and small, so you kind of get to know everybody on the course, which is always refreshing and nice to see. So first of all, you need a minimum of 6 Leaving Certificate subjects at a grade 06 or a H7, and they must include subjects in English, Irish and maths. So kind of one of the most important things here then is a H3 in Gaeilge and French or German or Spanish, whichever one you're studying at Leaving Cert level. In 2024 then the points were 419, and then just the standard entry procedures for mature, access and international applicants. For applicants with disabilities, they will still apply for this course as well. So again, just running through those entry requirements. It's the exact same thing that was on the last slide. So 40 places on the course, your 6 Leaving Cert subjects with a grade 06 or a H7, so just a pass in 6 of them. And you must pass English, Irish and maths. And then the 2 most important things here then are the H3 in Gaeilge, French, German or Spanish, your 490 points, and then again the standard entry procedures will still apply. So the first bit is what makes us different. So Bedlam is a cross-faculty programme where students will work with 2 different faculties. So the first one is the Institute of Education, and then the second one then is the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. So for the Institute of Education, you'll be working within multiple schools within the IOE, and this will help to shape your teaching practice and also your pedagogical knowledge. And then the second one then, so the Humanities and Social Sciences, this includes Fiunter agus Scoil na Gaeilge, so your Gaeilge kind of modules, as well as your Gaeilge language, and then School of Applied Language and International Studies, or SALIS, which will be your Modern Foreign Language modules there. So Mún Tuacht on Gá Conquer, so teaching, there's 2 pathways you can take to become a teacher. So the first one is on Conquer Tradiisiúnta, or the traditional pathway. So this is when you get a Buncéim sna Teangacha agus ó Gaeilge, so you can get an undergrad degree in your language, so either French, German, Spanish, or whatever you choose, and then also Gaeilge, so you can either do an undergrad or joint honours, and then that'll take 4 years. So then after the 4 years, you do Master Gar Mills and Educus, so the Professional Masters of Education, or the PME, which will be an extra 2 years. So then altogether, that is 6 years. Or on Conquer Comhráthach, which is the concurrent pathway, which is what Bedlam is. So with this pathway, you get a concurrent degree in education, and it only takes you 4 years. So at the end of either your 6 years or your 4 years, you'll come out of them with the exact same qualification. The only difference is that with Bedlam, or the concurrent kind of programme, you'll be doing your Gaeilge, your Modern Foreign Language, and also your education all kind of in the one course. So then the course structure. So the course is a B.Ed, so a Bachelor of Education. It's a level 8 degree and it's Céara Bliana, so it's 4 years. By the end of the 4 years, then you're fully qualified to teach. So during your course, every student will study Gaeilge, and then you'll also study your choice of French, German or Spanish. This is obviously the one that you've studied for Leaving Cert. So throughout the 4 years, you'll learn to teach, and you'll also learn the languages at the same time, which this is really helpful. So as well as learning how to teach the younger years and the younger generations, you're also kind of improving your own language and your own kind of communication skills through Gaeilge and your MFL. And then by the end of the 4 years, you're fully accredited to teach with the Teaching Council. So schedule and location. So where will you be? So to ensure that students are using their time effectively in their attendance, the timetable is broken up into 2 kind of separate blocks, we'll say. So the first block is Monday and Tuesday. And in this block, you'll be studying on St. Patrick's campus and All Hallows campus. So you'll be kind of switching between the 2, which is nice. They're only like a 5-minute walk from each other. So it's handy and it kind of like breaks up the day a little bit. So that'll be for Monday and for Tuesday. And on these kind of days and in these campuses, you'll be studying your Gaeilge and your education modules as well. We'll have a look at the modules a little bit later in the presentation. And then Decadian, so Wednesday is used as an independent study day, and this will be an independent study day every single Wednesday from first year to final year of the course. Now this day is used for catching up on assignments, completing assignments, doing study or like readings. So it's not really to be used for kind of part-time employment or work. It's kind of a day that you have as to kind of use at your will in terms of college work and kind of getting ahead or getting caught up. And then on Thursday and Friday, you'll be down in Glasnevin to do your French or modern foreign language modules. So you'll have the opportunity to experience student life on all three campuses, so DCU, St. Pat's, All Hallows and Glasnevin. And I think this is really good because it breaks up the week, so you never kind of feel like you're doing the same day week in and week out. And this definitely helps with your motivation as you'll proceed through the course. So next now we just have the 4 pillars of Bedlam. So the first one is communicate, or communication. So this is through Gaeilge and MFL, and in this pillar you're basically learning how you can improve your communication through reading, writing, listening and speaking in both Gaeilge and your MFL. The second pillar then is analyse. So this includes sociology, psychology and philosophy of education. The third one then is how to teach. So you'll be focusing on how can you assess different like exams or kind of assessments the student do. Inclusion, so for example, like inclusive education. Technology, and technology is a big thing in year 2, which I'll explain a little bit in the next few slides. So kind of learning how to teach using different technology resources and through the digital media. And then finally, just research. And then the final pillar is putting it into practice. So you'll do micro teaching, school-based observations, an online placement in schools, and then again, just planning and reflection. So they are the 4 pillars of Bedlam. So Skilling a Changa, so the language skills. You might recognise this Shanukul from the Leaving Cert, so Clockta Ayen and Mostracht, so practice makes perfect. Is what that means there. So language modules. So the language modules, your Gaeilge and your MFL, they take up 50% of the course. You'll then do Gaeilge internships. Now this is in the summer. So you'll do 2 4-week blocks. 2 of them definitely need to be in the Gaeltacht. And then the rest of them, you can do them in the Gaeltacht if you wish, or you can kind of use internships, for example, in like Radio na Lifa or places like that are all through Irish. And then in the second half of year 3, for 6 months, you'll go on Erasmus. And this is in a country where French, German or Spanish is spoken. So then by the end of the course and throughout the course, you'll be satisfying your teaching council requirements. And then students will have degrees in both their languages on top of an accredited qualification in education. And that's kind of what the most appealing thing about this course is. So as well as having your education degree, you'll have your degree in Gaeilge and, for example, French. So then say by the end of the 4 years, you decide you don't want to be a teacher at all, or you don't want to go into education, that's no problem. You won't need to start all over again. You could simply go into a degree in Gaeilge, or you can do something with French, German or Spanish. So then we have Sucricon Garmiel, so our professional placement. So over a cycle of 4 teaching placements, a student teacher gradually and cumulatively acquires the teacher skills specified on the student teacher skills progression path. So basically what that's saying is that over the 4 years, you'll be completing different placements to satisfy your teaching council requirements. So just so you can be accredited or qualified as a teacher. So in year 1, you'll complete a micro teaching. So this is basically where you teach for 5 to 10 minutes in front of your peers. And this is just to kind of ease you in and kind of get you used to the idea of teaching and classroom management. In year 2, you'll do a context and engagement period, which is for 10 weeks at the start of the school year. As well as then in November and early December, you'll do a 4-week online peer teaching placement. And then year 3, you'll still do the context and engagement again for, the 10 days at the start of the school year. And then you'll have 7 weeks placement in school at, November, kind of December time. And then year 4, you'll do the context and engagement again, which for the 10 days at the start of the school year, and then you'll have 12 weeks of placement in a school. But just to note that these details are subject to change as per the university and the school calendars. So module na céad Flina. So what will you be doing in first year basically? So I'll point out some of the modules here. So Teanga a Hain is a year-long module, as well as your intermediate French, German or Spanish 1. So these modules take place in semester 1 and semester 2. So year-long, you'll be doing them for the entire year. And then the rest of them are split up into semester 1 and semester 2. So you won't be doing all of them in semester 1 and semester 2. You'll have half and half. So then Masunu on Chorsa, or the assessment. So continuous assessment is the main assessment style of the course, which is always really, really refreshing for people in 6th year to hear, because it just means that all the focus isn't placed on one singular exam. So assignments are to be completed for each module. So they're spread out across the year, which is really, really helpful, and it takes the pressure off students a lot. So an example of some assignments could be essays. They're not all essays, but some of them, of course, are. Or you could be asked to do an infographic, so like creating a poster or something like that. A debate, that's really big in the modern foreign language one. So then, for example, just in Teanga a Hain, so your Gaeilge module, so you'll be doing Cara Taskana, so 2 in the first semester and then 2 again in the second semester. You'll have your Scrúdú Cainte then in February of first year, and then your Scrúdú Scríofa in April of first year. So then cén fá mún tuaireacht ar bhun scoile. So why teaching post-primary? So teaching as a profession, there's a high demand for teachers of Gaeilge and MFLs, and I'm sure you've all probably heard of the teacher shortage. So you'll walk out of Bedland and you'll walk out of the course and you'll have choices of jobs. Teachers have an important role in society. It requires commitment, understanding, patience, insight and creativity, and also interested learning and in people. It's interesting, rewarding, challenging, constructive and forward-looking, and you also then have the opportunity to make a difference. Because I'm sure if you were to think about one teacher that you had maybe in first year or now in 6th year that made a difference on you positively, either like in your learning experience or just in your life, and you then will have that opportunity to kind of follow in their footsteps as such, and then make a difference and a positive impact on your own student's life. Cén fáil go dtuchá go DCU. So, but why go to DCU? So it's open to all students with many different routes to the programme. It's recognised as a centre of excellence in all areas of teaching, and also an expertise in education and languages. So DCU especially is really, really accredited for all of its courses, of course, but especially in terms of their education. So it's really well recognised across schools in Ireland and also schools outside of Ireland. And it's really accredited, and it's really has a really good name in terms of their education and language programs. DCU is student-centred and has excellent staff-student relations, and it's small numbers. There is passionate staff who are national and international leaders in their areas of study. And this is really good as you get different kind of perspectives on different areas of the course. And then finally, there are friendly campuses and also friendly staff. Cén fá Rainig mé an course. So why did I choose the course? Well, the main reason, as we've mentioned, is that you're fully qualified after 4 years. So like we've said before, this means you're not required to do the PME, as your master's is technically included in your 4 years, and you can start working as soon as you graduate. So although you're graduated and completely qualified after 4 years, this doesn't take away the credibility of the course. It just means that everything that you would have learned in the PME, you're learning throughout your 4 years. And not many colleges offer this. I believe there's only 3 or 4 colleges, that could be wrong though, that offer this type of course, so the concurrent education program. But it's extremely scarce throughout the country. But it's definitely a really, really good one to look into. The second reason why I chose it is because everybody has the chance to do the Erasmus period for 6 months in year 3. And then the third one is that the course offered me the opportunity to study my 2 languages alongside the education aspect. So I was able to not only learn how to teach students, but also improve my own language levels and ability in terms of communication and just my general understanding of them. So that is it for the moment. If I go back maybe to the chat and just see if there's any questions at all. I'll stop sharing there. And if you have any questions at all, you can just type them into the chat box there, and I'll do my best to answer them. Is the Erasmus period compulsory? It's not compulsory. There is a different program that you can do in DCU. However, it is a good opportunity to learn how to speak French in that kind of or German or Spanish in that kind of immersive environment. So no, it's not compulsory, but it is a really, really good opportunity. If there's any more questions, just send them on there. Is it arranged by DCU? Yeah, it is. I believe you need to kind of figure out your own logistics in terms of accommodation, but it is arranged by DCU in terms of like where you'll be going, your colleges that you'll be kind of involved with, that will all be arranged. You won't need to arrange that in terms of location or college or time period or anything like that. So if you have any other questions, just send them in. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm sure if you have a question, somebody else will probably be thinking the exact same thing. So have you met lifelong friends compared to secondary school? Oh, that's a nice question. Yeah, I'd say definitely, because you're meeting kind of people from different walks of life. So obviously you'll meet really good friends in secondary school as well, don't get me wrong, but I feel like in college you're kind of meeting people with different perspectives, and because Bedlan is like a small and like tight-knit course, it's really like kind of easy to get along with people and nice in the way that like everyone kind of not has the same mindset, but kind of is thinking along the same type of lines. And yeah, it's a really good course to make lifelong friends. Sorry. And also if you join societies as well, you can meet other friends as well. Like for example, I'm in the dance society, so it's also good to just meet friends from there as well. So you don't only meet friends during your course, but also in different aspects as well. Do you find the course challenging? Is it manageable? Oh yeah, it's definitely manageable. Of course, at times it's challenging because you're studying three aspects. Like you're studying Gaeilge, your modern foreign language, and also the education side of it. But I feel like a course needs to be challenging to kind of keep the enjoyment of it there. But it definitely is manageable, and that Wednesday kind of asynchronous day really helps with that, with being able to manage it and your time management and stuff. So we might have time for one more question maybe. Are the lecture days long? No, not really. Usually, I think this semester there's 4 hours of lectures a day. So you'll have one double lecture and then another double lecture then. So usually you'll only have about 4 hours of lectures a day, but they're broken up. Like you'll have maybe an hour or 2 hour breaks in between each lecture. So it's handy for that. So they're not overly long. You'll never be in past 5 to 6. But yeah, so if we've no other questions, then I might finish up, but I'll just... oh, perfect. Thank you. No problem. Okay, so I'll finish it there, but thanks so much for listening to it. And I hope it's given you a little bit more of an insight to the Bedlam program. So